Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm finally back with another video. I've been gone for quite a while, had a short break and attended some conferences, and yeah, now we're back. And thought I'd start off with a question that I normally get and see on Discord, which is why are contract or events not decoded, right? So apart from the contract not being verified, there's also another reason, which is it may have an implementation and we have not gotten the ABI for the implementation yet. So I'll give an example. So a common scenario I see is, for example, so I have an example transaction here on Etherscan, and let's say you're using, select from the decoded event logs table, and they say where contract address is something, right? Let's say this one, and then if you query this transaction with this contract address, you may not have any results. And there could be two reasons. One is that this contract is not verified and hence we do not have its ABI. So first, to check if the contract is verified, just click on this contract and then go to the contract tab, and you should see an ABI section. If there is, that means this is verified, and yeah, you can upload this. Another reason is that if you do try to upload this to the website, which is the ABI requester, and you fill in all these details, and and if you check for issues, it may say the contract already exists, and so you cannot submit the ABI. And so what that means is that we actually have the ABI for the contract, but the contract may use an implementation, and we do not have the ABI for the implementation. So that's why, that's the reason why you're facing this issue. Now, to solve this issue, you would have to upload the ABI and the contract for the implementation, and that will get picked up, and then all the past events will get decoded as well. So what the hell is our implementations? So on so there's a few ways a contract can, on in traces, right? In EVM traces where contracts call upon other contracts, there are a few ways a contract can call other contracts, and one of the ways, the regular way is just a regular call, but there is also another call called a delegate call. So I'm going to use this transaction. For example, this is a Magic Eden transaction, and I go to my explorer called blocksec. Right, just go to this website, paste the transaction hash here, and it will show you the essentially the order of traces, right? So you have call, and then you have delegate call. Now, delegate call is the one that we're interested in. It is where a contract is able to use a function from another contract in the context of its own. So what I mean by that is, let's say we're looking at this particular row number 2, right? 2 and 3. Now this contract called payment processor makes a delegate call to this contract called module trades, right? And it makes a call with this function called buy listing. And so the reason why it's making a delegate call is because this payment processor does not have the buy listing function. And so it relies on another contract called module trades to get the function. So if we go to payment processor, go to its Etherscan page, go to contract, and then scroll down to ABI, right? Toggle full screen. If we were to search for buy listing, is it called buy listing? Yeah. 91AD. yeah, let's see. By listing. By listing. Oh, there you go. Yeah, so it does have the function. It looks like, but there is no. It's just bytes. Meaning to say it does not know. You're not able to decode the the data with this ABI, with this contracts ABI. Yeah, it's just nothing here. Usually, the contract itself wouldn't even have the function. Instead, it would have a way to call upon its implementation address. In this case, the implementation would be the contract it made the delegate call to. So let's look at module traits instead. So module traits, go to contract, and then go to ABI, and then I'm going to copy the ABI, and let's compare the two for by listing. Okay, this is the one I want. Now, immediately you can see there's so much more details here in this function of by listing. Yeah, and all these are the things that are needed to actually decode what is the trace, right? Clearly, this is the actual function as compared to here, right, where there is nothing. And so, I guess in summary, this contract relies on the module traits contract for functions like by listing. And so, if in terms of the terminology, payment processor would be the proxy contract, and module traits would be the implementation contract, right? So you can think of it as like the payment processor is a proxy for the module traits contract. I used to be confused about the terminology for proxy contract. I used to think the module trace is the proxy, but in actual fact, payment processor is the proxy, right? The contract that makes the delegate call is the proxy contract, and then where the function actually houses is where the function is actually housed is the implementation contract. And so in this case, let's say you use the decoded event logs table, and you filter your contract address by payment processor, and you're wondering why events are not showing up. That is because we are missing the ABI for the module traits. Yeah, we're missing the ABI for module traits. So even though payment processor does not have all the actual function, it can use a delegate call to call upon the function and then execute it in its own context, in the context of payment processor. So that's how proxies and implementations work. So if I were to go back to my ABI requester over here, right? So in this case, let's say you have payment processor but not module traits. All you need to do is to just go to module traits, which is this one over here, right? Go to, yeah, just copy the contract address here. Oops. Copy the contract address here, and then paste the contract address. Click on this, right, which is check if it's a proxy or implementation, and then ABI would be the ABI of the module traits. So again, the same page where the contract address is copied, and then your Discord handle, and then check for issues. Because it's already in, so this should say like ABI is already in. There you go. So there is already ABI, but in regular cases there wouldn't be, and so you can then submit the implementation contract. All right. Another question would be, if there is no block explorer like this, how would you find out what is the implementation? And for that, we can use our traces table. So just simply query the transaction. So let's see, where is our transaction? I think it's this one. So October 7. Okay, so I'm going to use the traces table. So ethereum.core.fact traces, where block timestamp is October 7, and transaction hash is this one. Now, one way to do is you go to logs, because you know that this contract, if it has an implementation, it will call upon other contracts. So this will be your from address. So, and from address is this. Of course, have to make a lower case. Oops, can't spell. And then I think it's called type is delegate call. So the reason why we use from address is because, again, this is the proxy address potentially, and it might call upon implementation addresses or contracts. So it's in our from address field, and then the type we want to filter for delegate call only, right? So this filters for any proxy to implementation relationships. Okay, so we have one address, one result, and it is this address over here, 9A1D005, a very similar address but it's different, and this would be the module traits. So copy this, paste onto Etherscan, and we will see that it is indeed the module traits contract. Okay, so that's how you do it with the traces table, right? And yeah, just for those who are already familiar with this, a particular proxy can have multiple implementations, and in this case where the whole call data is passed down, right, without any I guess there is some change, right? Yeah, without any changes. This is a bad example, but most of the time it is passed down without any changes. There are examples where the function, the contract itself modifies the call data, and so the function will be different. So I have an example here of Zen token, where you see how this someone called the claim min reward and share function onto the Zen token contract address, and then the Zen token relies on another contract to get the min and max of something. Right? I don't know what this represents, but it itself does not have the function, and so it makes a delegate call to this contract called math, and it alters the function to min and max instead of claim min, reward, and share. So this is another example where a contract uses a contract uses an implementation address for other functions, and it alters its call data. Yeah, so that's a bit more advanced if you're familiar with this. But yeah, other than that, that's how you would figure out if a contract is a proxy and it requires, or it relies on implementations, and that is also how you would use this to then submit in the API requester. In case you don't know where to find this link, it is here. You go to database, and then all the way at the bottom here there's a missing event, submit the API to decode. Just click on this, and that should be the link. And yeah, I think that's it for this video. Hope you learned something about implementations. And yeah, thanks for watching, and see you in the next one. Bye.